Welcome back. In this video we're just going to go through a whole lot of fish in the shop, so it's like a mini fish tour of my shop. If you don't know, I have an aquarium shop in Brisbane. There'll be a link in the banner thingy somewhere. Had it for over 20 years. We're currently upgrading a lot of the tanks, so they're very old, so bear with us. Otherwise, yes, let's get started and check out some fish. Okay, so the first tank is about a 100-litre display tank. It is a pretty old tank. I do need to replace this with a nice new one. Mostly just tetras in here, so I think we've got some Bristlenose tetras, there's a few cardinals, a few old neons, a few little ember tetras in there. But that is the basics of that tank. So moving along, we have some nice guppies in this tank. So I think there are some Dumbo guppies left. We have a big turnover in guppies, so they come and go super fast every week. But there are some nice guppies in here. What else have we got in here? There is some Apistogramma Goldfire, a few Apistogramma Trifasciata left as well. These tanks, more guppies, a few more guppies as well. Down here we have some Endless Live Bearers, so very cool little fish. I think there's a few sparkling gouramis in here, a couple of female guppies left as well. Lots and lots of mystery snails, obviously, as you can see. In this tank here, this is our first shrimp tank. We have some Carradina Shrimp, so black crystal shrimp, very cool little shrimp. They do need a lower pH and water hardness than your common sort of cherry shrimp do. And there are a few, I think there's a few crystal reds left. I can see one, maybe, but mostly crystal blacks. We also have some really nice clown panchaks, clown panchaks. Really cool little nano fish. So they will eat baby shrimp, obviously, but at that size, that's their adult size. They're not going to touch a adult shrimp. In this tank here, we have a few yellow cherry shrimp. So there's just your Neo Carradina, a lot easier to keep than the Carradina, which are the crystal shrimp. Very cool shrimp. Here is another tank of shrimp. So these are the blue Neo Carradina shrimp. Huge variety of these. So we get them from a few different wholesalers. So some are bright blue, other ones are very dull blue, but there's really cool genetics with them. So awesome shrimp to line breed and just get your own particular colors as well. This tank, we have the ever popular red cherry shrimp. Not many left today after the weekend, but because I'm filming this on a Sunday, but we usually have hundreds of these little guys available. They're one of the cheaper cherry shrimp as well. In this tank here, we have some assorted cherry shrimp. So just a big mix of different colors. So really cool if you want to sort of pick through and line breed certain colors. There's greens, there's yellows, there's blues, you name it, sort of thing. But that is the shrimp section. We have goldfish in this tank. So what have we got in here? We have some black moors. We have lots and lots of tortoiseshell mystery snails. There is a few ranchus, so they're locally bred ranchus. Very weird color on those ones. So usually we have a mixture of imported as well as just local bred ones. These just happen to be local bred. Tank next door, we have white cloud mountain minnows, great little pond fish. More mystery snails in here as well. There's a couple of fantail goldfish. This tank down here, we have more assorted fantails, so more black moors, some bronze fans, some red fans. They will turn into monsters, so they get around that 20-30 centimeter size. Yes, goldfish do get that big, and I'll show you some big ones in a second. In this tank here, Australian bass, they'll get about 30-40 centimeters. So not a common fish if you are not in Australia, but pretty common in Australia. So unheated in Brisbane, perfectly fine. Just an all-round cool native fish. Look at the big eyes on them. You can tell they're predators. They're watching me at the moment. In this tank here, only a few shabunkins. A shabunkin is a motley coloured goldfish. Up here we have, what have we got? Some paradise fish. So just a few common paradise fish left. Very easy to keep. They are cold water. They will breathe through the surface. So you can have them in a decent sized tank with no filtration if you want. A little bit easier to keep than better fish in that. This tank here, we have more black moors and fantails. So lots and lots of those guys available at the moment. We have Rosy Barbs in this tank, so lots of longfin girls in this tank. I think everyone's picked through the boys, but I do have 3 or 4 other tanks of Rosy Barbs. Very easy fish to keep and breed, so super common. Yeah, they will survive unheated in Brisbane as well, so you don't need a heater, you just need good filtration for them. Moving down here, we have a couple of bigger fantails. Not much in that tank, we'll skip that. In this tank, we have some really big goldfish. So some of these are around about 30 centimeters long. Did have quite a few more the other day, but obviously people come in and buy them, but they do come and go all the time. You can actually tell a few males with the spots on the gill covers. So there's a big male there, and that huge one there looks like a female. So if you're local, you're watching this, you want to breed goldfish, now is your opportunity. We can actually tell males and females in a few of these fish. It's only in breeding season that you can actually tell the males and females without then sexing them and making a giant mess in the tank. That is a nightmare. But you can tell the males with the spots on the gill covers, so they will scatter their eggs around. The males will fertilize them outside the female's body, and they make a complete mess, as you can see. We have some Borneo suckers. These are like a cold water sucker fish, so we recommend these over any of the other sucker fish. They are very good at climbing out their tank, hence you can find them in a couple of tanks along this sort of. We have some red devils in here, and up in this top tank we have hundreds of red devils. They will turn into a very, very big fish, so it's like one fish per large tank. By large tank, you want about 300 to 500 litres for one of these, because they will get about that 40 centimetres or so. And I have another display tank here. Bit of a mixed tank, this one, so lots of different tetras. So I think there's a few African tetras, there's a few barbs and that from Southeast Asia, a few South American fish as well, like the angelfish, and I think there is a few Central American cichlids, like the aliotai. So all round a bit of a mix, but they all have the same water quality. Yeah, those cool little barbs there are the red-line torpedo barbs. Those bigger fish in there are, where are you? Yep, those ones there, they are the Congo tetras, and then we have some filament barbs as well. A few assorted smaller tetras in there, but all around pretty cool fish to keep. So this tank down here, we have some clown loaches, we have some Vegeta cichlids. They are very, very cool fish as well. I think there is a bigger rainbow shark in there as well. And this tank, we have a whole lot of platies. Platies are super easy to keep, very, very cool fish. They have live babies, so very easy to populate your tank if you want something easy to breed. Currently, I don't have many marine tanks, but I do have a snowflake moray eel. Had this little guy for about 11 or 12 years now. Might be a girl, have no idea how you sex them. Going to upgrade the tank. So currently in a 4-foot tank, but I'm going to get a nice tank with bells and whistles and all that sort of stuff soon. That is the plan, so hopefully in the next month or so you'll see me post a video about a new marine tank. Here we have, what have we got? We have some long fin albino corridorus. We have some nice scissor-tail raspora. They're very cool fish, those. Very underrated. They're a nice, bigger, long fish, obviously, but pretty peaceful because they've got a tiny little mouth to them. And there is a few dwarf gouramis left in there. In this tank here, we have some honey dwarf gouramis, and we have some blue kerry tetras. They'll got a really nice purpley hue to them. Purple kerry tetra is another name for them. Yeah, I guess some people see blue, some people see purple. Who knows? Probably call them brown kerry tetras at the moment, but they will colour up as they get bigger. This tank here, we have some Cardinal Tetras. I think there's 1 or 2 red-tailed sharks lurking around as well. Cardinals are like a neon tetra, but they have the red that is on the belly. So really, really cool fish. This tank here, we have some albino glow light tetras. What else have we got in here? We have some black widow tetras, or I think they call them black skirt tetras overseas. We call them black widow tetras in Australia. We don't sell the coloured ones because they're artificially dyed, and we're not into that. I mean, even though I am blue, it was my choice, and I don't think the fish choose to be coloured, so we are passing on that. So we have the white version of these and the black version. All round really nice fish. We do get the long fin ones as well. I have a couple of black ghost knife fish left, I'm pretty sure. They will get pretty big, about 30-40 centimetres. We have some Harlequin raspora, another very cool Southeast Asian fish. What have we got? We've got a few random dinios, looks like a longfin leopard, a few golden dinios. There is actually a golden killifish in there. Go figure. There are some little bristlenose catfish, great algae eaters for a tropical tank. And we have some glow light tetras, another really nice, cool fish to keep. Lots of fish in this tank. So in this tank we have, what have we got? We have swordtails, we have some albino Buenos Aires tetras, and we have some dinios. So these are the blue dinios, or your pearl dinios. There are a few random Raspora in there as well. I think it's a 2-spot Raspora. There might be a few other rogue things scattered around in there. We have some really, really nice tiger barbs. So we've got albino tiger barbs, we have your common tiger barbs. Looks like there is a couple of random albino tinfoil barbs. I think they just came in a little bit small, so they had to go in this tank, otherwise they get munched by the bigger fish. And we have some Bandit Cichlids. Very underrated cichlids, very, very cool fish. And they have been spawning in this tank, so yeah, very easy to breed as well. This tank here, we have some Filament Barbs. Again, a really, really nice fish like you saw on the display tank. They color up, iridescent colors, very, very cool. In this tank, we have lots of yo-yo loaches or reticulated loaches. They have lots of different names. Some really nice Rosy Barbs too. So you can see the males with the bright red on them. There's reds, there's oranges, there's all sorts in there. There is a few random scattered things like a Coach's Blue Tetras and a few other random bits and pieces in there as well. Black Emperor Tetras in this tank, very, very cool fish. Yeah, if you saw my unboxing video a couple of days ago, that is the same ones. There's only a few left of these guys at the moment. This tank here, we have more of the angelfish. So more of the angelfish? Yes, more of the angelfish. These are a cross between a red devil angel, which is a bright orangey red angel, and a black angel. So yeah, they should get a lot of colour on them. So still got another batch of these. There is a couple of female powder blue dwarf gouramis in here as well. And there might be a few Mr. Catfish lurking around the bottom. Yeah, we have neon tetras, everyone's favourite. So we do go through a lot of neon tetras. So lots have sold in the last few days, but we do get a couple of hundred each week. This tank, we have the red fin dinios. They're starting to get their colour on the fins. I had the worst video of these in my last unboxing video because it just takes a little while for them to colour up. And we've also got some yellowtail Congo tetras, which are a really nice fish. Yeah, really, really, really cool. So, and this tank has lots and lots of mollies. So Dalmatian mollies, obviously, they're the Dalmatian coloured ones. Black mollies, and what do we got? A few sort of gold mollies left as well, which are an albino. In this tank here, we have a few angelfish left, so some nice angels, and there's a few dwarf gouramis left as well. So obviously powder blues and your red dwarf gouramis. And we have some silvertip tetras and 1 or 2 angelfish left in this tank. I'm pretty sure there are some albino gibberseps or salvin plecos in here as well, lurking around. This tank, we have electric yellows and we have a few Dimbiachromis. Not too sure. Dimbiachromis stratagragus. The name is on the screen, whatever that is. Can't pronounce anything. I just look pretty. In this tank, we have some cobalt blue zebras. There are still random peacocks in there as well, just those little albino ones. And we have some 6-bar Fontosa in here and some smaller redfin cadangas. Again, really nice fish. Fontosa will get huge. They're a Tanganyikan cichlid, but they're not aggressive or anything like that. They get big enough to eat little fish, but that's about the aggression you're going to get out of them. They're not really an aggressive Malawi cichlid like all the Pseudotrophus are. And this tank here, we have some red dragon peacocks and some crimson tides. We have a few more Tanganyikans in this tank, so albino Bishardi and your normal Bishardi. The little spotty guys are Rostratus. They are really cool fish, which I am taking home. So they're not for sale, but I will get some more in there for people. And in this tank here, we have lots of albino dolphins and 1 normal blue dolphin. I really do need to take a group of these home, grow them up and breed them because they are awesome as they get bigger. And we have a lot of fish in this tank. So we have some dwarf chain loaches, really good for eating algae. Not algae, snails. What is really good for eating algae is the Otocinclus catfish, which are in here as well. We have some black coolie loaches, we have some ember tetras, we have a few longfin cherry barbs left as well. And I think there's a few random Corydoras, there's a few gold lasers left in this tank. I think I can see like 5 or 6 left. This tank here, how nice are they? So those are the albino cherry barbs, only a few left, but they are super, super cool. We have some peacock gudgeons, as well as some really nice Mekong River, what are they called? Bumblebee gobies, which they are lovely. Really cool patterns, so they're totally different than your normal stripy ones, obviously. So this tank here, we have some blue rams, we have some female cherry barbs. I think all the males are sold. We were expecting more this week, but I got other things instead, not on purpose. And what else have we got? We have some black Venezuelan cories and some orange Venezuelan cories, and some normal coolie loaches in here as well. So, and I think there's a few plecos lurking around, or bristlenose. This tank here, we have some longfin dinios. Again, really nice fish. There is only a few balloon rams left, and there are a few barbatas. So in this tank here, we have a few cool things. So we have, what do we got? A Geophagus tripari, so one left of them. We have some Senegal bircher, very cool fish. There's a couple of Peter's elephant noses left as well. There's some albino sailfin plecos. And what else have we got in there? Some Synodontis Sophia or whatever. The spotted Synodontis cats. They've actually doubled in size since we've had them. I think there's only a couple left of those as well. We got in here, we have some fancy female bedders. So there's some double tails, all sorts of stuff in there. Really, really nice. Usually we have quite a few of these, but we are expecting more in the next week or so. Some koi betta fish, so these are females. Again, with your betta fish, you can have groups of them together. You just need about 4 or 5 plus with the females. You don't want to keep males with the females. That's just not the way they like it. So I nearly forgot to film the axolotls. We're down to 5 axolotls. I think there are 3 albinos and 2 black axolotls left. Local bred, very awesome. You do need to keep them chilled, so just check out my other videos if you want any information on axolotls. I probably should leave it at that. I just realized I missed about a third of the fish in the shop. Whoops. Yes, all the male betta fish, a whole lot of the American cichlids, half of the Africans. But if I put them all in, it would probably be a 2-hour video, and I don't know if anyone wants to watch a 2-hour video of me babbling about fish. If you do, comment down below. I can do a 2-hour video of fish. Otherwise, I'll just do another installment of this in another week or so. Anyway, thank you for watching. Click the thumbs up if you want to click the thumbs up. And yeah, we will see you in the next video. Bye.